how the shadows of of this incorporeal character. So you can, it's almost like by where the shadows are helps you define where their facial features are, and you can sense a little smirk at the edges as you ask that question about the whiskey. And he says, "Forgive me. This must be very uncomfortable and unsettling for you all. If you would just like to follow me, we will get into a more comfortable position where we can continue this conversation." And he turns and walks sort of towards that window, and there's a door right next to the window behind, so where you guys are, there's like them, and then there's like this big control panel bench thing with a whole bunch of buttons and flashing lights and dials and stuff. Very 80s sci-fi movie tech sort of thing. It's really awesome. And then there's this window, which is like, if you've been in a recording studio, it's like, through the studio glass, and there's a little door there that's just an archway, and they head into this other lit room. And so the incorporeal, is that the right word, by the way?
Incorporeal, I believe.
Incorporeal. I got my emphasis wrong on the wrong syllables. That's all right.
All the syllables, just throw them all in there.
How do you say it again? Because I only ever
incorporeal, I believe. I could be wrong too, but that's always how I've heard it.
That sounds about right.
Oh wow! Don't press the little sound button when you Google words. It's just weird. Google says it's incorporeal.
Close enough.
Just go with what Rick said.
Wow. Can I I want to capture that. You got to play this. This just sounds.
This is our lives now.
My internet is currently strained, so I'll have to just imagine it.
He's real excited about it. Incorporeal. That's real good.
Wow. Okay, I'm going to keep that tab open for a while because that's going to make its way into some sort of doof track that I make later. So, they follow the incorporeal character through. Basically, you guys are alone in the room for the moment. You're at your own leisure. You can kind of get up and do whatever you want. You might have a moment here to have a quick conversation, but definitely the inn. They're waiting for you in the next room.
Is it just us three in here?
Okay.
Correct. Oh, Ellis will then immediately get up and start looking at all the wicked sick tech in here, because would he have seen much of this before? Or is this like advanced tech for the colony that I probably wouldn't have seen?
No, you're a post-tech dude, man. Yeah, you would have seen this stuff. This wouldn't be that sweet. This is just like stuff that you've worked on it before, but maybe you haven't seen it in this configuration.
Yeah, then it's probably just more of a cursory look to try and get an idea of just what's going on around here. Just like
even I am post tech.
Whatever, mate. See, I'm just poking around at stuff and picking things up off benches and looking at them and waiting for the other two.
Oh, there's nothing to lift.
Oh, what?
It's so minimal, man. It's just like a big control surface with all of these like crazy different circle lights that are flashing. And oh man, you've seen like, I'm just trying to think. Oh, I know, Flight of the Navigator. This is what.
I was just hoping there was something I could like try to pocket, but that's fine.
Actually, it's all chrome and stuff. That's not.
But no, if it's all paneling and stuff, then I'm just looking around and trying to figure out if there's any safe buttons to push, and just being nosy basically. And we'll follow the other two out once they decide to leave.
So we're just wearing these like scrubs, basically, yeah.
Are you wearing the same clothes as you were before?
Okay, right. Okay, so do I have any weapons on me or anything?
Don't have any of your belongings with you.
I don't.
Just the clothes.
Okay.
No. If you had something in your pocket, you might have had that, but you definitely don't have your knife and you don't have guns.
Okay, I check my pocket where I put the crystals.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. That's it. Yeah, I'm gonna start walking towards the other room.
I slowly pry myself out of my seat and very slowly waddle over to Ellis in a scene reminiscent of the first Men in Black film where Jay is dragging the table across the room, right? Just that uncomfortably long, awkward scene of me waddling towards Ellis. And then when I reach him, I just go down his face to see if it's real.
Cool. Ellis cringes very uncomfortably and then swats his hand away, like 3/4 of the way through. Not because of any like behest against Guy, just he doesn't like getting touched very much. So there's this awkward like, it's real, it's real, Guy, it's fine. I'm here.
All right, pull myself together. We're good.
All right.
Oh wow, Ellis, you sounded like Batman then. That was awesome.
I'm Ellis.
I'm Batman.
I'm Batman.
I'm doing like a half Tom Waits.
Yeah,
Oh, it's good.
half Tom Waits, half Christian Bale as Batman. Do it.
Yeah.
And then
Party.
and then Ellis probably doesn't say anything else, but sort of just head gestures towards the exit. To seeing there's nothing else to do, just like kind of like, let's go. And then just starts walking slowly towards the door to join Calloway and the other weirdos.
All right.
Also,
Guy-
I also
Guy
checking my
whispers
pocket,
to-
by the way, looking for the crystal that I didn't end up harvesting.
Yeah, you don't find a crystal.
Yeah,
in the
and
book.
Ellis's heart sinks just a little bit.
Guy being presumably the last one left in the room as the others wander off. So I crick my neck. I whisper to myself, "Game face," and it's like flicking a switch. Fake it till you make it. Composed, and then I follow the rest of them. Let's do this.
Awesome. Okay, so you guys head into the next room, and it's effectively a meeting room. And there's a big, there's two tables. One's sort of arched slightly, and the other one's just straight rectangle. There are 3 seats at the straight rectangle one, and the 4 characters are sitting at the arched table, and there's a spare seat at the arched table. And you guys, clearly there's like one other door, which is closed as you walk into the room. The door does that awesome air compressor close behind you. Not super fast, but just like kind of thing.
Sorry, I just thought the way you're nodding there, I'm just picturing like Ellis has some sort of like just sick appreciation for those automatic doors.
Oh,
And just like as it closes,
it's like
he's
just
going,
any tech. Like
Yes.
this is the same as every door in the colony, but Ellis is still just like, maybe the actuator's running at a slightly higher PSI.
Yeah, it's just like this, just almost indecent
On the
satisfaction.
on the off chance that there's something different about this door, like just because he's on this endless pursuit for new shit.
No, that's awesome. And there's like this hypersensitivity to, with his psychic abilities, there's this hypersensitivity to every little detail. And like, you know how you get those satisfying gifts where like something fits inside something else, but they're two completely different unrelated things.
Yeah.
That's the feeling that he gets all the time with tech. Just
All the feelings you get from looking at those pictures of like perfectly arranged cable management.
Oh, bro.
Exactly.
It's so good.
Mm.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Right. But yeah, Ellis totally doesn't take a seat. He's doing that. You know when you go to the shopping center and they got the automatic doors, but like the sensor's a bit off, and so you have to like do that weird jumping back thing. Ellis is totally doing that with this door to see if it like trips from the inside, or like if he can like trip it falsely or something like that. He's not actually going to sit down immediately. He's going to noodle around with the door and just be distracted, as Ellis does.
Yep. Nice.
Callaway
Parker Powers
at Ellis and clicks and points to his leg. It's like, here, boy.
And Ellis will through the course of the conversation, will eventually make his way to his seat. Like, he acknowledges Callaway with like a look over shoulder and nod, but then is still messing with the door for like the next 5 minutes.
Yeah. So the door's just going.
Yeah, and I notice it's working from this side, and then I get bored of that, so I try to figure out its proximity and like see if I can get within its proximity without opening, and just all that, just any possibility, any outcome,
right.
Every parameter.
Okay, and I'll assume Parker and Powers just make their way to those chairs and sit down.
Yeah. With like almost a purposeful ignoring of the incorporeal being, because I can't process that. And just like, all right, ladies, let's get down to brass tacks.
Very cool. Okay, and I gotta crack open my notes again, and
so also I would spot Rachel Hamilton in the room as well, wouldn't I?
Right. So now all those people that we talked about earlier, you guys would recognize if you know them. So
I'll just nod to them as I sit down.
Yep. And so Powers, who was it? Nishi Miko is there. Rachel, Phaedra is definitely a female, and the incorporeal character is as a male because of the voice. So you've said, ladies, let's get down to brass tacks.
That's right. Yeah.
And Nishi just has a low growl, like some sort of defensive cat.
Who? Sorry?
Nishi.
Oh, right. Okay.
And just shakes his head.
What a dick.
Oh, that's so good.
In his mind, Nishi's thinking, not again, you fuckface. No. That's a side note. No, that's not real.
Yeah,
but yeah, there's okay. So I'm just trying to think who would Rachel, who's in one of those, sitting down, she calls out, she goes, Ellis, sit, please, leave the door. Ellis, stop, Ellis.
And Ellis sighs, and do you reckon there'd be like some sort of switch or something with the internals he found that like causes it to get stuck open? So it's just like the pneumatics keep tripping, but it won't close anymore. Like a half broken it.
I'd imagine there'd be like a manual override on it or something to keep it open.
Messed up the sensor, so it thinks there's someone in proximity.
I mean, you could probably use your psychic powers if you wanted to do it as as purposeful. But if you were talking about as you've just fucked with it and you just left it, then no, it won't.
I guess I'll just let it close then, and with a sigh, and not even saying a word, I'll just sit down and glance over to the door one last time, and then stare straight. Then I'll stare straight back down at Rachel. And like Ellis isn't actually trying to be funny here. This is just like people aren't his jam. Technology is. So like choosing people first is shit to him.
Sure. So basically, they take it in turns to introduce themselves. So now you're aware of who they all are and the organizations. So there's Atrin Bale, the incorporeal.
Would we know the name Atrin, even if we didn't associate the face with the name? Until now?
You can't see this character's face, right? Because it's all shadowy.
Oh, okay.
And weird.
Sure.
But basically, once they introduce themselves, it's clear that this is the the what do we call it?
The Colonial Council.
Yeah. The Nova Terran Council. They represent humanity on Ether Prime and within the system.
So is one of them wearing the traditional robes of the Prismatic Church of New Castellonius?
Is one wearing the robes, I think. The robes of the church.
Yeah. I said, is one of them wearing the traditional robes of the Prismatic Church of New Castellonius?
I would assume so, right? I don't know. Why is that so funny?
Okay.
I missed something.
It's just the absurdity of the name, I think, is what...
Oh, the absurdity.
Well, I imagine the traditional robes would be quite prismatic themselves, and as such would, like, they just have weird, like, angles coming out of, like padding and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
They're, like, very hard to sit in. The arms are, like, stuck like that.
I know exactly what you mean. Hang on a sec. Yeah, hang on. Bear with me. In Ted, when they go to the future.
Yes. Probably more angular though.
Yeah, that kind of thing. But yeah, like almost like a D20 dice shape, just like sitting there like that.
Definitely. Awesome. Okay. Yes, I'll allow creative license on that. She's definitely finding it very difficult to sit.
I look at her and go, "You look like you're having a bit of trouble there."
She just sort of glares back at you without any emotion.
I just shrug my shoulders and
kind
of look away from her.
She stares you down, and you look away, and then when you look away, she just shifts again a little bit to the side, and goes back to like her incessant not being comfortable. Anyway, let's move on to the sort of plotty sort of part of this, because we'll wrap it up in about 5 or 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Basically, they explain to you in they each take turns and explain to you that you've been a part of a simulation to test your abilities in various sort of aspects to figure out whether or not you're eligible for the task at hand that they have in mind. They apologize for the unsettling nature of having taken you in your sleep after your boozy night and injecting you into this matrix, without really explaining anything to you before you get there. But it was part of the test, needing to see how you guys responded to complete sort of shock and surprise, and like how you're going to deal with this scenario that you aren't prepared for. So that was part of the test. So they say, they explain that you guys have have a lot of potential, and they keep coming back to this idea of referring to you in almost like in a future tense. They say things like, we know you will be this, and we know you will be able to handle the challenges of the tasks that the colony.
As they say each of these things, I look at Guy every time they say we're going to be like great people, and like
every time they
I just look him like up and down every time they like.
Awesome. Like every time that they infer that you guys aren't quite awesome yet, but you will be one day. You glance at Guy and
Guy's like in his own world, staring. I like ever so slightly, eyes starting to widen, and the hair standing up on the back of his neck, while the power of love plays in his head. He's just getting vibes, man. He's getting vibes of a specific kind of theme. And he's down with it.
From which of the 2 or 3 is the vibes coming from?
Sorry, say that again.
Who are the vibes coming from?
Oh, just like what they're saying. They're talking about us in the future tense, right?
Yeah.
I'm just thinking like... Well,
I can imagine now is like the camera is like, zooming in on... No, go on.
It's giving me like some sort of vague memory of some sort of ancient piece of media. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm just messing with you. It's all right.
You have to later. Right. So basically, they explain that there's a number of small teams that they've organized to come together from various parts of the colony. They've formed 3 teams. This, you 3 being one of the teams. And there's a number of requests that the colony is asking of the teams. So a number of quests, a number of challenges. Things that will help the colony achieve their goals, basically. It's almost like we need some people who've got more, above average everything, so we can send you out on do some shit.
Yep.
And yeah, so that's the point. And basically they say, all right, so we would prefer you choose something. You choose the task for your first mission, rather than us demand you, or dictate to you rather what that mission will be.
Okay.
So there are 3.
Can I straight away just blurt out? Are we getting paid for this?
And you can just blurt that out, and Phaedra, of the the one in the D20 costume, she turns and she mumbles, almost so quietly you can't hear her. Actually, you know what? Make a roll and see if you can hear what she says as she turns to her companions. So what's that?
Or should I roll that off? Okay.
A perception with a wisdom modifier.
That makes the most sense.
Yep.
7.
Nice. So, you can hear she basically says, I told you these aren't the right ones. And then Atron says, Bale says, Mr. Parker, it is not money that will get you anything that you need. You see, the value of the things that we seek are beyond that of mere economic wealth. We seek to extend our reach into the depths of this galaxy and universe. We seek to evolve. We seek to uncover technology that will empower us to defend ourselves. These things we cannot find without teams such as yourself. If you wish to work for coin, then Mr. Parker, you may leave.
Well, I was just curious more than anything else. I mean, obviously, you guys have created a culture where we need money to survive. So I was just wondering if we're getting paid for the time we're using to help you guys out. But no, that's cool. If not, guys, I mean, I'll just leave that, eh?
Yeah, Bale continues. He says, Mr. Parker, all of your costs will be covered.
Okay, that's all I wanted to know. I just wanted to know if we had a bit of expenses to play with, or...
Yes, you may submit expense claims and forms and things of that nature, and we will deal with those accordingly. But for the most part, consider this colonial quests as paid for by the colony.
Okay.
So, where are we going?
And then Nishi leans forward and takes, as he speaks, he takes it in turn, like looking at each of you in the eyes, as directing his conversation, directing what he's saying at each of you, except for Powers. And so he explains there's been a strange disturbance reported in one of the ice belts at the rim of the system. The strange disturbance has been picked up on a number of different sensors, and it appears that there is some form of energetic activity that's happening out there that is unexpected. He says that that's in the area for where they wish to do some resource gathering of some sort, and this would be a recon mission to investigate. Then
Guy Powers immediately taps Calloway with the back of his hand, to get his attention and direct his comments directly, to Calloway. And he goes, "That's after thinking why the fuck am I here?" He goes, "That's why I'm here. I'm the pilot." It's like suddenly the world makes sense to him, and it's like he's got a place on the team and he's happy.
Awesome, brilliant. Then, sorry, just thinking. Then Rachel leans forward and she says, "We also need to deliver a number of pieces of equipment and parts to repair other equipment at a research post on one of the far planets of this system. There is some activity of science activity happening out there where we're doing some studies and research, and they've had some issues with local environment, and we need to repair some of their materials so that they can stay out there. And we need you to deliver that, help set it up, and stay at that outpost for a while, just to make sure that all of their equipment is in good order."
Ellis almost too loudly goes, "That one," and then realizes how loud he was and goes, "Yeah, that one." As soon as the word equipment was mentioned, his eyes opened to the size of saucers, and it was like, "Yep, that's the job. Give me the toys to play with."
Then, wait, there's more.
Yep.
And then Atron leans forward and says, "The other need we need attended to is a manhunt. We are looking for a scientific unit that was sent on an exploration mission that hasn't checked back in with us in several periods of time." Are worried, and go hunt them down.
Okay.
Which will it be?
Calloway just holds up his hands and said, "I'm happy to go with whatever Ellis wants to do."
That's all Ellis needs to hear. Ellis doesn't even check with Guy. But
Calloway just leaves and says, "Look, I nearly nodded off during that whole thing, so I'm a bit drained from the existential crisis machine you've had me plugged into for the last 5 hours. So let's just let him pick what he wants, and then we'll go.
Unless would Guy say anything? Rick, would he chime in? Have a preference? Because I don't want to like game your choice out of it, even though Ellis would be so keen on messing with equipment for several weeks.
Anything. Look, whatever has the potential for like crazy flying by the seat of my pants maneuvers, because Guy is like a legend in his own lunchtime, and he wants to live like an action hero.
So, which one?
Powers requires flying, but you're probably right. The ice belt is probably the most flying.
Yeah, that's the one I'd want.
So, would there be like something flippable, like something coin-like, that Ellis could reach out for?
If you would have had that in your pocket, like
I've got a washer or something in my pocket, and one side's really scratched up or something like that, or has a ding in it.
Wait a second. Like Guy doesn't travel around with a lucky ornate coin.
All right, well then I point to you and I
just
say,
for such occasions.
Ellis
right?
and Guy are friends,
Hello?
right? So Ellis would know that.
What are we talking about here?
And then I'd point to you and I'd just say, I'll flip you for it.
All right.
So /R1, I'll roll a D2, D1, I win, D2, you win.
Sure. Yeah, I'll take.
Ah.
Well, shouldn't Powers flip it?
All right, fine. Best of 3.
Tails never fail me.
If you really wanted to, I would be willing to grant that you have a double-sided coin. If you really want to, that'd be very Guy-ish.
Oh man! Oh, that's such a good point, and you were so cool for mentioning that.
Dude, just if you want to, just do it. Again, that's okay.
Again, I don't want to screw you guys here, but you actually make an excellent point.
Yeah, he would 100% have a two-sided coin.
It would have a two-sided coin. It would be.
All right. So I reckon the coin bing in the air and it lands and you call it, and I mean you can take it if you like.
Yeah, that would be that's how it goes.
So then I guess Ellis would just say, I guess we're going to the ice belts.
Yeah, we're going to the ice belts, buddy.
And sighs again. Awesome. And looks longingly at the door once more.
Cool.
I'll turn to you and say, trust me, buddy, it's going to be great. It's going to be ice. It's in a belt. Good times.
Callaway is just stroking his beard, looking at Guy and saying, I don't think I've ever seen you lose a coin flip. Do you mind if I take a look at that coin?
Oh, look, it's nothing. Oh, look, I just dropped it in my pocket. Pockets it's pretty deep. I'm not going to be able to fish it out. I'll show you later.
Yeah, sure.
Don't you worry about that.
No problem. No problem there, Guy.
Okay.
No worries. Thanks, mate.
Excellent. And so Bale nods his head and says, sounds like you are decided. Nishi just audibly sighs as if shit.
Look, say what you want about Guy, but you cannot fault his preparedness. He knows always to carry that coin.
Hang on, we need to put that into Google and get it to play out how it sounds. Preparedness. There we go. Oh, it doesn't have a speaker thing.
Damn it.
Shattered.
Shit.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, just type in how to pronounce preparedness.
Yeah, I've done that.
YouTube.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, it's got an intro. It's a 15-second clip for like a 1 second word.
Yeah.
So do we have...
Preparedness.
I don't suppose we're going to make it to the ice belts this episode.
Incorporeal. Wait, what did you say?
I said I don't suppose we're going to make it to the ice belts this episode.
No, that's
Probably
you
not
guys basically choosing the next adventure.
Yeah.
So,
Preparedness.
Preparedness. Incorporeal. All right. Yeah, I think we'll wrap it up there basically. So, you guys get ushered into the next room and get to go do your thing, have a shower, get ready for the next adventure, and take off.
On the way out, Ellis moseys up next to Rachel and goes, "Out of curiosity, what equipment was it?" Referring to the other mission that they were offered. He just needs to know. Like maybe they're walking out side by side and he's just trying to pick her brains about.
For sure. And she leans over and behind her hand like this, she whispers into your ear and you go like this.
Nice.
And then Guy quickly interrupts them with his finger under her nose and says, "Can you take a look at this?"
And the stupidest thing is it probably doesn't smell anymore. Like, you're just holding out your finger.
Awesome.
Oh, wow. All right. Sick.
And scene.
That was
good. That was a good scene.
That was so good.
Oh, we're the best at role-playing.
What a blast. Such progress. Wow. Did we get any experience?
Yeah.
Yes.
You did.
You shot a monkey in the face with a crystal.
That is true.
Right.
Well, it was all like a virtual Matrix monkey, but still, we did
If
stuff.
you gain experience in the Matrix, do you level up here?
Yeah, you did. So,
Whoa, I just learned Kung Fu.
I'll dish out XP. I've got a few notes here that I've been taking, so I'll dish out some XP with you guys as a follow-up email.
Cool.
And you guys can update that when you get my email.
No problem.
Alright. Sick.
Anyone's leveled up though. I'm just having a quick look. That's our first real XP dish.
Yeah, no, we wouldn't have leveled up, I don't think, but nevertheless.
Takes usually it takes about 2 adventures to get to your first level.
That's fair enough.
Yeah.
Or maybe a tank with a chopper package.
Sure.
Then maybe you'll level up. I need to know how to fly a B, whatever the fuck it is, helicopter.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Oh,
Cool.
man. Any closing remarks then?
I'm happy to do a debrief after the stream.
Cool.
Killed.
All right.
But yeah.
Rad. Well, these should all appear on YouTube sometime in the near future. Thanks for anyone who stopped by, and we'll see you hopefully in a couple of weeks.
Das coolest.
Superb. Anything else, gents?
Roxons.
Well, in that case, stream defeated in 3, 2, 1. Bye.